Is it time to reveal your real magic and become seen, known, and valued? Hello and welcome to this Visionary Voices poetry dive that we're doing today. And today I'm offering a poetry dive on listening for your next step. So if you're new here, if you're new to me, welcome. It's lovely to connect with you. I'm Rionach, and I love to support soulful business owners to really shift their energy so that you can show up and share your gifts and become seen, known, and valued. And I'm very excited to be sharing this to you today because poetry is real soul love for me and was a big part of what supported me to go from somebody who never wanted to be in front of a group, like ever, to really wanting to show up and shine in the world. And it really does light me up like a Christmas tree. So if you're here watching, say hi, or if you're watching the replay, put in replay. So I'm just really excited to connect with all of you that are attending, and whether you're live or at any moment in time you're connecting with us. So and also share your insights, your takeaways, what you're experiencing, what you're bringing to this topic in the comments as we go through. So what we're going to be doing today is using poetry to shift your energy, to cultivate a state of being where you can really listen to your inner knowing through experiencing this, and then becoming more receptive to your inner guidance. And at the end, we'll see what comes up around getting clear on your next steps. So poetry for me was something that really brought me back to my soul's path in a big way. I came across a poem 10 years ago now, The New Beginning by John O'Donoghue, and it really spoke to me, and it really helped me to go from being off track to coming back on track. It became like a North Star and a guiding poem, a guiding energy in my life. It opened me up to new possibilities. And even though I didn't know where I was going, it kind of infused me with this new energy that felt right and created a huge shift. It was like I was going in this direction, and the poem helped me to start going in this direction, and it felt like coming home to my soul's path. So, and this might be your experience today, with the poem. You might get very clear. Sometimes the soul is very tangible and it's like, do this in this way, and this is when. And sometimes it's just more of an energy that you will receive. But alignment is the thing that I know for my people who are soulful and really want to grow visibility in a way that feels aligned, as opposed to some of the industry standards that don't feel so deeply soul aligned, or maybe just aren't right for you. So we want to be in alignment, but how do we find it? How do we feel it? This is why I'm offering this topic, because it's a deep question, and it's a lifelong, moment by moment. How do I access my aligned next step, my aligned energy? So and diving deep into the magic of a poem is something that's always supported me. And there's a poem, beautiful poem called Listening by Rumi, which I will share with you today, which is, what is the deep listening? Sama is the greeting from the secret ones inside the heart, a letter. And in the Sufi tradition that Rumi was a part of, this Sama was it's a word that means listening. And it was a ceremony that the Sufis and the Islamic people had of gathering together to listen to prayers, to spiritual poetry, to music and dancing, and really cultivating this ecstatic state where they could listen to source, to their spiritual knowing. And so this is really what I want to offer you in a Facebook Live, in a very different context, you know, in the 21st century, but still there's an energy when, you know, speaking and listening to poems from a place of depth can really, you know, alter your state and cultivate that, you know, deep listening to your inner guidance. Because poetry, it has this incredible vibrational medicine. And, you know, it really shifts your state. That's what I find. It just kind of like, woof, shifts my energy. People that experience this, their energy gets shifted too. We all kind of enter into the sacred territory, you know, of the poem. And so different poems have different medicine, different energies. So what I'm going to be sharing today is poems that activate this capacity to really listen to your inner knowing. It's like tuning into a radio station. You know, often we're going about our day and we're kind of busy and it's harder. But when we tune into the right station, you come in to the frequency of your soul's vibration. And there's a line from a poem that I love. I want just this consciousness reached by people in range of secret frequencies contained in my speech. That's Drew Jellinger, Hieroglyphic Stairway. I want just this consciousness reached by people in range of secret frequencies contained in my speech. So that's what we're doing today. We're bringing through these secret frequencies in the words and create an energetic space to invite in some soul to soul time. So, you know, so just if you're not in a space where you can listen to this, you might want to, you know, listen, but come back at a time where you can really drop in. So let me know what's speaking to you about this topic of alignment and of this deep listening. You know, what do you find is easy or hard for you to, you know, listen to your soul, carve out some soul time and tune into that frequency, the radio frequency of the soul that gives you your aligned guidance. I'd love to hear from you about that. And as we prepare, as I'm preparing to bring you into what I call a poetry dive, a poetry activation, I just want to say poetry, you know, it goes deep fast, opens up these sacred realms, but many of us have felt, you know, poetry is not for me. It's like this complex puzzle at school. It's like, it's a secret code, and I don't get it. Or, you know, education, you know, has often put us off poetry. I know it did for me. I didn't come into, you know, my love affair with poetry until I was, you know, pushing 40. So before that, I was like, that's okay, but it's not really my thing. So, but when I just want to invite you, people say poetry is not for me, but I've never heard anyone say music is not for me. So I just invite you to treat poetry as you would a song. You don't need to understand the technicalities of it. You don't need to understand what it meant for the writer. You just need to experience it and feel, what does it mean for me in this moment? And let it wash over you like music. Let it really shift your energy. So let's dive in. So inviting you, if you're in a place where it's safe to do so, to take a moment to take some deeper breaths. If you can, close your eyes or lower your gaze, but stay safe. And breathing your awareness down into your heart, down into your belly, and just feeling that you are a great tree with roots going deep and wide into the earth. You might see yourself as a great oak tree or some other tree that you're just rooted. And you can breathe the space, and you, as deep and as wide as your roots are, you can expand out into the room with your branches and your leaves and really take up your full energetic capacity here. And now that you're surrounded by a powerful energy field that you have inhabited, I invite you to drop deeper inside to access your deep listening. And I will share the names of the poems and the poets with you at the end, so you can just let go of that. You don't need to know what they are to enjoy this experience. You've been living this for weeks. The moment the house empties like a city in August, so completely, it forgets you exist. You've been living for this for weeks. The moment the house empties like a city in August, so completely, it forgets you exist. Light withdraws slowly, is almost gone before you notice. In the stillness, everything becomes itself. Light withdraws slowly, is almost gone before you notice. In the stillness, everything becomes itself. The circle of white plates on the kitchen table, the serious chairs that attend them. Even the roses on the papered walls seem to open a little wider. It looks simple. The glass vase offering, holding whatever is offered. Cut flowers or the thought of them. Simple, though not easy, this waiting without hunger to receive what you may be about to receive. It looks simple, the glass vase holding whatever is offered. Cut flowers or the thought of them. Simple, though not easy, this waiting without hunger in the near dark for what you may be about to receive. So just breathing and listening to your inner knowing, your soul frequency. What is the deep listening? Sama is a greeting from the secret ones inside the heart, a letter. The branches of your intelligence grow new leaves in the wind of this listening. The body reaches a peace. What is the deep listening? Sama is a greeting from the secret ones inside the heart, a letter. The branches of your intelligence grow new leaves in the wind of this listening. The body reaches a peace. Rooster sound comes reminding you of your love for dawn. The reed, flute, and the singer's lips, the knack of how spirit breathes into you. The reed, flute, and the singer's lips, the knack of how spirit breathes into you, becomes as simple and ordinary as eating and drinking. The dead rise with the pleasure of listening. If someone can't hear a trumpet melody, sprinkle dirt on his head and declare him dead. Listen and feel the beauty of your separation, the unsayable absence. Listen and feel the beauty of your separation, the unsayable absence. There's a moon inside every human being. Learn to be companions with it. Give more of your time to this listening. As brightness is to time, so you are to the one who talks to the deep ear in your chest. Listen and feel the beauty of your separation, the unsayable absence. There is a moon inside every human being. Learn to be companions with it. Give more of your life to this listening. As brightness is to time, so you are to the one who speaks to the deep ear in your chest. I should sell my tongue and buy 1,000 ears when that one steps near and begins to speak. I should sell my tongue and buy 1,000 ears when that one steps near and begins to speak. So just noticing what's getting activated, what's getting shifted in your energy as you receive this secret frequency, this deep invitation to enter the soul territory and come within reach of your deep listening. In that first hardly noticed moment in which you wake, coming back to this life from the other, more secret, movable, and frighteningly honest world in which everything began. There is a small opening into the day, which closes the moment you begin your plans. In that first hardly noticed moment in which you wake, coming back to this life from the other, more secret, movable, and frighteningly honest world where everything began. There is a small opening into the day, which closes the moment you begin your plans. What you can plan is too small for you to live. What you can live wholeheartedly will make plans enough for the vitality hidden in your sleep. To be human is to become visible while carrying what's hidden as a gift to others. What you can plan is too small for you to live. What you can live wholeheartedly will make plans enough for the vitality hidden in your sleep. To be human is to become visible while carrying what's hidden as a gift to others, to remember the other world in this world is to live in your true inheritance. You are not a troubled guest on this earth. You are not an accident amidst other accidents. You were invited from another and greater night than the one from which you have just emerged. To remember the other world in this world is to live in your true inheritance. You are not a troubled guest on this earth. You are not an accident amidst other accidents. You were invited from another and greater night than the one from which you have just emerged. Now, looking through the slanting light of the morning window towards the mountain presence of everything that can be. What urgency calls you to your one love? What shape waits in the seed of you to grow and spread its branches against a future sky? Now looking through the slanting light of the morning window towards the mountain presence of everything that can be. What urgency calls you to your one love? What shape waits in the seed of you to grow and spread its branches against a future sky? Is it waiting in the fertile sea, in the trees beyond the house, in the life you can imagine for yourself, in the open and lovely white page on the waiting desk? Is it waiting in the fertile sea, in the trees beyond the house, in the life you can imagine for yourself, in the open and lovely white page on the waiting desk? So just noticing what seeds have been activated through these questions, just breathing, receiving. It might be a feeling, there might be some creative emergences. And so we're going to bring it home in our last poem to see what emerges with the next step. Start close in, don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing, close in, the step you don't want to take. Start with the ground you know, the pale ground under your feet, your own way of starting the conversation. Start with your own question. Give up on other people's questions. Don't let them smother something simple. To find another's voice, start with your own voice. Wait until that voice becomes a private ear, listening to another. Start close in. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing, close in, step you don't want to take. Start with the ground you know, the pale ground beneath your feet, your own way of starting the conversation. Start with your own question. Give up on other people's questions. Don't let them smother something simple. To find another's voice, start with your own voice. Wait until that voice becomes a private ear, listening to another. Start right now. Take a small step you can call your own. Don't follow someone else's heroics. Be humble and focused. Start close in. Don't mistake that other for your own. Start close in. Don't take the second step or the third. Start with the first thing, close in, a step you don't want to take. Just breathing, receiving, noticing what's stirring here in this listening field that we're entering together. You might want to take some notes, write it down. And just, it's okay, whatever you received, trust that you might get something very clear, very tangible, very practical. Sometimes the soul is very directive, something to do, something to let go of. Or you might get a feeling, a sensation, an image, some words. It might not make sense. Trust it anyway. Let it be a soul seed that you live with and cherish and get curious about. It might be pointing towards the exact energy shift you need to make to allow your next steps to come into being. Sometimes you need to shift the energy first. So the poems that I was sharing today, I started with the poem called Grace by Esther Morgan, and then went into Listening by Rumi, translated by Coleman Barks. What to Remember When Waking by David Whyte, and another David Whyte poem called Start Close In. So I'd love to know what you're taking away, what you received from this. So please share your insights, your ahas, any questions that you've got in the comments. What did you receive? What did you experience here? And thank you for joining me in this deep dive experience of really dropping into, tuning into the soul frequency in a way that we don't so often in our everyday life. And if you are getting a next step around your visibility that you would love some support with, reach out to me, message me. I've got a new offering called the Visibility Superpowers Experience, and I would love to explore if that is something that's a fit for you. I'll share the link to that. It's a way of diving deeper into shifting your energy and seeing what wants to come forward for you, and a way to experience, working with me in a very simple way to see if you want to go deeper. So it's been a pleasure. And I say my next step is to step beyond my fear. Oh, simple and clear and deep. Thank you, Anna, for sharing that. And Helen, Anna saying, knowledge that I should do this often, listening and breathing. Yes, beautiful knowing, beautiful guidance, Anna, that it's there. Johnny saying the first one, pointing to a city in August, kind of support wishes and plans I'm pondering for my August. So that was sweet. Yes, beautiful. I love that image of the city emptying in August, and how that can also be a metaphor for our minds and our busy energy we can empty. We can empty like a city in August to drop in. Jackie, thank you. I'll sit with this. Just had an interview, not sure if aligned, get it, or just fear. So just holding space, Jackie, with where you are with that, and trusting that you are receiving what you need, and that, you know, each step we take brings us into greater clarity. And yeah, you're welcome. You're welcome. So that's all for today. You know, reach out if you've got any questions or you want support with your next steps. Welcome to those of you who are new here. It's been lovely to connect with you, and I hope to see you again very soon. Bye for now.